Welcome to the Mind Shift podcast. Join Rocio Perez, your mental performance strategist, as she navigates you through inspiring journeys with global experts. Explore breakthrough insights and awaken the potential within you wherever you are in life. Get ready to transform your personal growth. Here's Rocio to guide you.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to have Erica here today. She was just on our TV show and very excited to have her here on this platform for her to shine her beautiful light. Erica, welcome to this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. We were talking about your amazing career in emergency healthcare and the work that you're doing now here in the United States again. What does that look like as you're connecting with executives and people in healthcare? In what ways are you helping them so that they can enhance their work?
So, my transition recently has been from clinical medicine in the emergency department in the leadership space to now having the opportunity to support leaders in healthcare and leaders across the board on their journey of essentially showing up as the best version of themselves,
Mhm.
right? When there's a gap between who we know we can be and the way that we're showing up, we feel it. And people often come to me because they're looking to bridge that gap because they feel like I can do better, right? I can show up with more confidence. I can show up at work in a way that feels more authentic. I can tap into my values, like all of those things that keep us disconnected. And we've talked about stories. Your language was baggage, I think. I talk about people playing small, right? When people
Mm.
are done playing small, that's when they find me.
Wow, that is pretty fascinating. I love the fact that, again, you're here into emergency medicine. What better person to train you than somebody who's been in emergency medicine from a leadership perspective to be able to guide you and show you what the lay of the land is for any one of us. Tell me, as you continue to move forward, who are these individuals? Where are they found? Like if somebody's listening to this interview and they're saying, okay, that's me. I'm done playing small, like you said, or I'm ready to level up, or I just want some additional skills.
Yeah. Well, that's where it starts, right? It starts with that self-awareness and the opportunity to really see yourself in the story. So that's one. People will find me on LinkedIn because that's where I have most of my presence. And the other way that people will identify themselves is through the connection there, through the post. So I'm there. I've kind of challenged myself to be visible there every day. The goal is to just put content out there that inspires people. There are so many ways that we can connect and create community. And so for me, it's about how can I make this world, their lives, us as a collective, how can I elevate the game? How can I make us better? And for some people, and I was this person for a long time, I was a lurker, right? Like I didn't participate, I didn't interact. I was like, that was just, I was not gonna, I was flying well below the radar. And so, and for those people out there also, like, I see you, I feel you. And what matters to me is that there's a piece of them that resonate with this.
Hmm.
Like, that's it. That's okay. And that's it. That's all you need.
And how do you know you're ready? How do you know you're ready? Because you're talking about those opportunities right there. They always say that when the teacher appears, the student is ready, right?
Mm.
Is ready, the teacher will appear. Either way, how do we know we're ready to level up or to find a consultant, or maybe at least in my field, it's like somebody's already they've exhausted everything that they've been doing and it doesn't work for them. Sometimes their marriages are on the rocks and business is on the verge of collapse and these different things. How would somebody identify specifically in your field that they're ready for this?
Mm. Often people have tried other things, right? They've read the books, they've read the blogs, they've listened as much as they can. Like they're consuming information because that's what we do,
Mhm.
So you're trying to, you start there. And by the time people come to me, they're in this phase, I call it the not this. They're
Mm.
in the stage of not this, which is a really powerful, you don't have to know, yes, that, but you're in a stage of your life where like, not this.
Mm, mm. And wanting more. Like, how do I
Mm,
get out of this? How do I get out of this quickly? How do I transition? I'm tired. I think I find people too in a place of burnout and exhaustion. They're like, okay, I'm ready to get out of this. Like, I've tried everything. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm ready for some real results.
correct. That's exactly right. It's getting to that stage of not this and knowing that like there has to be more than this.
And there has to be an easier way. I always think about example, landing in the jungle. Am I going to get out of there by myself? Probably a very slim chance that I might get. But if I find somebody who's been through that jungle, who can guide me along the way, who can tell me what tools I'll need along the way, which ones are obsolete too, because sometimes the very tools that we think that are helping us may be actually impeding us from achieving the success that we want to achieve.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty in a lot of ways of coaching and mentoring, is that you can tap into the wisdom and the experience of others. And that's what we need to do. Why would you want to go through that on your own, kind of making the same, we will all make mistakes,
Oh, 100%,
for
100%.
sure.
And it's part of
But yeah, and to learn from each other's.
oh, wonderful. What would be some words of advice as we're getting ready to the close of this interview? What are some words of advice that you would give people who are on the edge? They're on the fence and they're like, okay, I'm ready to take the leap. I need just a little bit more information.
I think the greatest regret that we often have is not in our action, it's in our inaction. And so I I encourage people in relation to this, but in relation to most things, to do the thing. That thing that you're thinking of doing, that thing that requires courage, that thing that scares you, that's it. Go do that thing. That's where our growth lives, and that's what we're here for.
Uh,
So that's the advice, like do the thing.
do the thing, and especially the thing that scares you. I always tell people when they call me up and they're like, Rocio, I'm stressed out. And I'm like, that's great. And they're like, are you crazy? And I always think, no, that's the perfect place to be. You have exhausted everything that you know.
Mm,
And now here's time for the real learning, the real
yes.
growth. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Erica, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your knowledge, your wisdom. Continue being amazing. And thank you for shining your light here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today on the Mindshift podcast. Rocio hopes you've been inspired and gained insights to fuel your journey of personal growth. Remember to subscribe and share this episode with friends who are also exploring their potential. Leave us a review to help spread the message. Rocio says, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring your potential with us. Until next time, goodbye.